Welcome, moon and star. Be you friend or traitor, come to this place where, oh, who am I kidding? This is neither the time nor place for my usual stream of opening niceties. Things have changed. Yes, Nerevar, as you can see, I have landed myself into something of a predicament this time. Before you cast judgment on me prematurely, however, I would ask you to lend me your ear. I of course speak in the figurative. For as an unsightly reptile, your current incarnation lacks the basic anatomical structures found in most bipeds. No, my being incarcerated will not deter me from pointing out lizard inferiority, should the opportunity present itself. Now where were we? Ah yes, the matter of my imprisonment. You see, it all started on the dawn of last Freedus. As the light of Magnus set the ashen plains of Vardenfell ablaze with its fiery splendor, old Dagoth was roused from placid and dreamless slumber by the pangs of hunger. Normally, the need for sustenance is one easily ignored, merely an unwanted carryover from the mortal days of Vorin Dagoth. But on this particular morning, Nerevar, I felt famished in ways that would make a skooma junkie blush. With the stores of Dagoth the building, filled with naught but kwama eggs and stale netch cheese, I made the decision to leave the Red Mountain with a cadre of ash vampires in pursuit of a decent meal. Several ideas were bandied about, but when push came to shove, one eating establishment stood triumphant above all others. Recently forged hatred of Burger King in mind, I instead took us to the closest McDonald's in the province. Surely the enemy of our enemy would prove our friend, I thought. Oh, if I knew then what I know now, Nerevar, I would have returned to loathsome Burger King on hand and knee, grateful for the opportunity. But at the time, we had little reason to doubt the competence of those hallowed golden arches. Mind you, I was no fool. I did the responsible thing and put an order in on the way over. 6 Egg McMuffins, 8 hash browns, coffee, orange juice, the works. And by the time my order was confirmed, the clock read 9:45. Nothing was amiss. As we approached the fast food chain, however, we were met with an infernal line, several scores long, of various mongrel dogs of the Empire, out for their morning fix. My undead associates were quickly dismayed at this, for they had set their hearts on breakfast, and breakfast alone. Undaunted, I reminded them that it was still 9:45. With 45 minutes to work with, surely we had nothing to fear. Well, slowly but surely, the Enwas that ran the place whittled down the line before us. My eyes remained fixed upon the clock, counting the seconds until our hopes and dreams would be irreparably dashed by senseless company policy. But my timing was perfect, I was sure of it, and as the last Sur-Wit before us was sent on his way, the numbers 1029 never looked better. "Good morning," I deigned to greet them with at the window. "Good morning," they returned my pleasantry. "I have an order for 4 coffees, that'll be 10 septims." The unthinkable had now become morbid reality. Despite the clock still several seconds behind 10:30, they were attempting to forego my order early. I don't need to tell you how fiercely I pleaded my case. Nerevar, I called them every name in the book. I ran the manager through the proverbial ringer. Dagoth Baylor had even gone so far as to screenshot the clock, but this had little to no effect. When push came to shove, the heartless, witless worker drones of McDonald's cared little for our patronage or even my divinity. So naturally, I took the sole avenue still left open to me. I annihilated them outright and left only a smoldering pile of cinder in my wrathful wake. Tomes could be scribed about the ferocity with which I struck down each and every individual the restaurant employed. I can't say what exactly came over me, but in that moment, Mehrunes Dagon himself would have cowered at the sight of my fury. Perhaps it was the slight against my godhood. Perhaps it was their unyielding ineptitude and disdain for the customer. Regardless, when it was over, nothing remained. When the authorities came for me, I didn't even put up a fight. I had expended every last ounce of rage within me, and I was tired. I was tired of seeing a world familiar to me, one in which anyone would be willing to work with you over a simple matter of 10 seconds, slowly disintegrating before the unholy marriage of corporate conformity and youthful social anxiety. In the first era, such an exchange would be unthinkable. But in this modern age, contempt for the customer seems inevitable. "All right, boys, take me in," I said. Hands outstretched, I accepted my shackles with grace. Small price to pay for being loyal to doing the decent thing. And so here you find me, Nerevar, moon and star, my old friend. The bail they've set for me isn't what one might call astronomical. Even a dullard serpent like you could easily piece together enough potions to sell to see me freed in half a fortnight. That said, I have no real desire to be back out on the mean streets. In truth, I've learned to appreciate the stability of these bars in ways someone on the outside never could. In here, one loses all sense of time. In here, one no longer has to worry about a ravenous board of Akulakan stakeholders demanding 51% of shares. In here, the ever-inflating price of Red Mountain rent is like a bad dream I've finally managed to wake from. In here, the world I once knew can exist cherished in my memory, instead of lying dismantled before my very eyes by the ceaseless march of heedless progress. I will miss you, Nerevar. Argonian though you are, I will miss these little tete-a-tetes. But now, as a 15-time convicted murderer, I have a new lease on life that was not made available to me in the days of my vainglorious need to bring honor to the Sixth House and the Tribe Unmourned. So you've won. You are victorious. But just know it is a hollow victory, one achieved less by your own skill and righteousness, and more by the ineluctable degeneration of society and all its facets. Though just in case, please leave me something sharp I can use for a shank. I may have need of it.